NBC.
Everybody in our house! We fly around, we make plays, and we dominate! No other place we'd rather be right now! Let's go!
Waiting all day for Sunday night, let's get it!
You thought nothing could surprise you. You thought you'd seen everything, but you never saw me coming. All eyes on me, ready or not.
Reaches up, extends, touchdown!
Leaping, caught it, touchdown, Cowboys!
You can't stop what I got, ready or not.
You're the best in the league, go win the game.
Let's go, baby! Chiefs on 2, 1, 2, 3!
Ready or not, down zone, you best get moving. I'm about to change the game.
End zone left side, touchdown!
It's all the same. Ready or not, can't escape.
Fires a strike!
You can't stop what I got. Ready or not.
Jackpot, baby! Put it in the W column!
The one view of the Las Vegas Strip, you can't lose money this far away. Right along the Strip, it is beautiful, spectacular. Allegiant Stadium, where tonight that AFC West rivalry is renewed. In a tumultuous month off the field for the Raiders as a team on the field, their quarterback Derek Carr has them 5-3. They're trying to make the playoffs for the first time in half a decade. Visiting, it's Patrick Mahomes, looking cool. Chiefs, they've been cool about it. They've won their last 2, but doesn't feel right just yet. We'll see if they can start hitting their high gear. Kansas City, Las Vegas for you on Sunday Night Football. Raider fans, Chiefs fans ready, and so are we. As always, we start with Football Night in America. Hi, everyone. Mike Tirico, Hall of Famer Tony Dungy, future Hall of Famer Drew Brees. Entire cast is here and ready to roll. We love watching football together, but even though we don't have a connection to a team, I feel frustration when you watch the Chiefs. Something's missing. Tell me, Hall of Fame coach, what are you seeing?
Well, I'm frustrated because I like good football, and right now the Chiefs are not playing good football. They've got Super Bowl caliber talent, but they're not playing that way. Offensively, poor pass protection, poor ball security, everything, just not running the ball well. Defensively, they were at the bottom of the league. Yeah. Chris Jones, their best defensive player, they were playing out of position. Took him from tackle to end. He's moved back. That's helped them. But they're still not playing consistent football on either side of the ball.
Yeah, and offensively, specifically, they lack patience. They lack discipline. You know, we're used to, they have so many playmakers. You're used to seeing them make big plays left and right, score 30-plus points, and making it look really easy. Teams are defending them much differently now. They're forcing them to be patient, to have to drive. And the last 2 drives to start the games against the Giants, against the Packers, they went methodically down the field. They ran the ball. They took the 5-7-yard completions and got points.
Right?
They got it. But then it was like, all right, throw that out the window. We don't like playing that way. We want to air it out. We want to, you know, listen, take the shots, but if it's not there, check it down. Find your playmakers underneath. Stay committed to the run. And that's what's going to open up the opportunities to make those big plays down the road.
Since the Super Bowl, teams are playing 2 deep safeties. They're taking away the highlights. They're also taking away a little bit of what made the Chiefs the Chiefs. So we want to see some of that come back. Speaking of highlights, we got plenty over here. But what's the most important thing you saw from the early games today?
Oh, my hometown, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, coming off a bye. We think, hey, they're rolling, but they did not play good football today either. Off kilter, out of sync on offense, and then defensively, I'm not sure what has happened to the Bucs. The last 2 weeks, 2 games they've played against backup quarterbacks, they've given up 36 and 29 points. Not good defense.
But how about these New England Patriots? These are the old school Patriots we're used to seeing. Great job by Josh McDaniels here over the last few weeks. This offense has truly evolved. Tons of variety. It's the screen passes. It's the speed sweeps. It's the trick plays. It's the run game. 150-plus yards rushing a game. Mac Jones is efficient, finding completions, hitting big plays. He continues to get better each and every week. And with a defense that's also opportunistic in giving them turnovers, man, they look really good.
I saw Brady that we went to the Patriots logo. I know it just hit me. Since the return game up in Foxborough, Patriots have looked better than the Bucs have, which is interesting. All right, best throws of the day. That's always how we get into Chris Sims and Maria Taylor. I'm going to guess none of them came from the Lions-Steelers game today.
No.
You said best throws.
Yes.
And he's not giving out consolation prizes, okay? This is a coveted award.
That's
the
right.
best throws on Football Night in America. So go ahead. Where are we starting?
Well, we're starting in New England. I mean, Mac Jones. I feel like we've talked about him a lot this year, certainly. But Mac Jones, that's right. the first-round pick, the heir apparent to Tom Brady. Phenomenal throw down the middle, tight window here to Kendrick Bourne. Capped off a 99-yard drive to put them up 21-7, and basically was night-night Browns right after that. Mac Jones, like Drew Brees says, very efficient right now. Now, I mean, this is one of my favorites. Josh Allen, of course, it's never as scripted with him. Move up in the pocket, on the run, sidearm laser to Matt Breida. Gets the Bills off to a good start, 7-0 in that one, but a great throw by Josh Allen. And then maybe the clutchest throw of the day. Colts offense really struggling. Up by 3, third down. What a throw on the run. Michael Pittman Jr., great job getting the feet down, but that put them up by 6 right there. Made Jacksonville have to go score a touchdown. Great job by Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Wentz's longest completion of the day, and you could never, Chris Sims, you could never.
In my heyday? You didn't see me in my heyday. You don't know.
True. All right, the best throw I have is throwing it out to Las Vegas because Jack Collinsworth and Rodney Harrison, they got the best assignment of the week. They're hanging out in Vegas.
Maria, we love our job, and this is a house that belongs in America's playground. Right, we're in Vegas, baby. Vegas, these fans are nuts. I've never seen a stadium like this in my life.
Man, I love this stadium. It's natural grass. It's not too big. But when you pull up, you know you're in Raiders Nation. Look at these fans.
You really do. And we begin every Sunday looking for the best defense around the country. So who was the toughest group that you saw today?
I would say the Dallas Cowboys. After last week giving up over 400 yards on the defensive side of the ball, I thought Dan Quinn did a great job of having these guys ready. And, of course, Micah Parsons. He gets after the quarterback, a sack, a forced fumble. And on the opposite side, you got Diggs comes up with his 8th interception. But also they got it done on special teams. A block punt resulted in a touchdown. The Dallas Cowboys, I give Dan Quinn a lot of credit.
And on the topic of defense, your old coach, Bill Belichick, he is building a monster once again. How real is New England becoming?
New England is real. Everyone just talks about the run game and Mac Jones, but to me, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, those are the guys that are making major contributions to this team.
I feel like we hit the jackpot for Sunday Night Football,
Let's go,
man.
baby.
It is a prize AFC West showdown in a city that is built for prime time. Listen to the band play. Football Night in America from the Desert Oasis.
Welcome back to Football Night. Welcome to those of you who watch Carolina win in Arizona. We're in Las Vegas for tonight's game, and over the last month, much of the conversation surrounding the Raiders has revolved around what's happened off the field. About a month ago, head coach John Gruden resigned after reports revealed he used homophobic, misogynistic, and racist language in emails dating back to 2010. A dozen days ago, the receiver Henry Ruggs released after he was the driver in a car crash that killed a 23-year-old woman. Ruggs faces felony charges, including DUI, resulting in death. And on Monday, the Raiders released their other 2020 first-round pick, the corner Damon Arnett, after video surfaced of him making death threats while holding firearms. Back to the Gruden story. On Thursday, he filed a lawsuit against the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell. I want to bring in Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk now. So, Mike, what more can you tell us about the lawsuit and the potential ramifications?
Well, Mike, this all goes back to the 10-month investigation that was conducted regarding workplace issues at the Washington football team, and everything generated during that investigation was supposed to be kept secret. 150 witness interviews, more than 650,000 emails, but somehow a handful of those emails made their way to the media and made it untenable for John Gruden to continue to be the coach of the Raiders. He's claiming that the NFL specifically targeted him, specifically leaked those documents to force him out as the Raiders head coach. The NFL obviously denies that, but through this process, we will learn plenty about who had the documents. I've been told a small handful of people did. How did they make their way to the media? Were they properly handled? How did this all unfold? If this litigation goes start to finish, we'll learn a lot about how that information was or wasn't properly handled, Mike.
To use lawyer terms, would be a fascinating discovery phase. You're the lawyer here. What did you notice, Mike, as you read the entirety of the lawsuit over the weekend?
21-page complaint, and I saw, Mike, on 3 different occasions an argument being made by John Gruden's lawyers that the NFL deliberately leaked the Gruden emails to take the pressure off, the attention away from all of the criticism and controversy over the Washington football team investigation. And they got it backwards. The Washington football investigation was gone. It was over. It was done. It was a blink of an eye in early July. It wasn't until the John Gruden emails were leaked that everything happened. It became a big deal. We need transparency. Congress showed up. That all traces to the leak of the John Gruden emails. That was one thing that really stood out in that original filing made by John Gruden.
We'll lean on your legal expertise as this case goes on. To the football team, tumultuous is an understatement to describe what they've been dealing with. You spoke to one of the big names on this team in the spotlight here of handling it in the locker room. That's their tight end, Darren Waller.
Yeah, and Darren told me there's no blueprint for what they've gone through. He said new coach Rich Bisaccia has done a tremendous job of leading. He couldn't be more just complimentary of the job Rich has done, but he said we know the coaches don't have all the answers. We had to step up as players, and he said Derek Carr specifically, the quarterback, has really picked up his intensity in leading that team.
So often the coaches are the big personalities of a team, and that certainly was the case with Gruden. It's a lot like Sean Payton was the big personality in New Orleans. I know when Sean was suspended in 2012, a little bit of the responsibility for having to be the voice of the team, like Derek Carr right now, fell to you 9 years ago. What was that like?
Yeah, you definitely take that upon yourself as the quarterback of the team and really amongst the other leaders on the team as well, because you know that we all need to pick up the slack. And, you know, I knew exactly the messages that Sean Payton would be delivering on a weekly basis in that Wednesday morning meeting, whether it be something game plan oriented for that week or just an overall message as to kind of where we are or where we were as a team at the time. For example, if we just rattled off a couple wins in a row and the media was singing our praises, sure enough, he'd come in with a mousetrap saying, hey, don't eat the cheese. You know, don't get ahead of yourselves here. We still got a lot to prove, right? So you certainly felt as a leader that you needed to pick up the slack and be able to deliver those messages in your own leadership style, but certainly do that.
Carr's doing that. For more on him, back out to Vegas and Jack.
Yeah, Mike, with all that's taken place, Derek Carr has been the Raiders' stabilizing force. He put together a couple of wins when it seemed impossible. So, Rod, what have you seen from the Vegas quarterback over this stretch?
He's playing extremely well on the football field, but I've really been impressed with how he's handled all the adversity that has come with everything that this team has gone through. The leadership, being the voice of the locker room. Not many quarterbacks can deal with what he's dealt with and handle it the way he's handled it.
Well, it helps when you have a great tight end like Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends that you will find. How do they try to use Waller?
Well, I love the fact that Carr likes to spread and get everybody involved, but the rules change when you have Darren Waller. He's 6'6", 6'7". He's a mismatch. Anytime he's one-on-one, just give him an opportunity. Throw the ball up there and give him a chance. That's a big man right there.
Big man that runs about 4'4", size and speed. Waller had to overcome some personal struggles away from football before becoming a star pass catcher for the Raiders. And this week, Waller explained how he's trying to use those experiences to have a positive impact on others.
My name is Darren Waller, and my cause is the Darren Waller Foundation. I'm very passionate about this because it's something that, you know, had its grips on me for a decade. You know, just been trying to, you know, equip young people with resources and skills and tools to navigate the temptation to fall into drugs and alcohol. I know I did when I was 15 years old. There got to be a lot of people out in the world that felt the way that I felt at that age. And I want to be able to help them navigate those things and not have to go through what I had to go through. We're sending people to treatment. We're targeting ages 18 to 25. I want to be able to help everybody at every age if possible.
I'm here for you.
Take a look at who's rolling up to our Sunday Night Football final show on Peacock.
Yeah, some of us got some friends that are some big timers. I don't know.
Snoop, you should have never tweeted at Chris Sims because his head is so big he might not make it through the highlights. But it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G.
It is.
When you are a Pittsburgh fan, we're going to get to the highlights and tell you why, okay? Let's start, though, with Jacksonville taking on the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, the second, third, and fourth effort gets him the touchdown.
Yeah, he ran the ball really well in the first half. It was a block punt touchdown for the Colts early on. They played good in the first half, not so much in the second half.
Yes, let's go over to the fourth quarter. Jags down 6 with a chance to complete a comeback, but unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence fumbles. Yeah, it wasn't an easy day for Jacksonville throwing the football. They had to rely on the run game there. Tough situation. Big turnover for that Colts defense. Colts win at 23-17. They are back to 500, or at 500 for the first time this season. The Lions still the only winless team in the NFL, taking on the Steelers. That's right. Big Ben out, Mason Rudolph in, looking for Deontay Johnson, but he fumbles.
Ugly offensive game on both sides of the ball. Pittsburgh made a lot of mistakes. This, of course, being a big one where you're thinking, oh, they're going to set up to win the game in overtime.
Really ugly weather, even uglier game, I'm going to say. All right.
Oh, yes. Very ugly game.
No good.
Right.
With the opportunity to get the win as he's filling in a kicker.
Not even close. I feel bad for the Lions, but nonetheless, it's not a loss. There is a silver lining there. But, here's Freiermuth again. Steelers mistakes, ability maybe to kick a game-winning field goal. He fumbles the ball, tie game.
Yep, Lions recover again, so the game ends at 16-16. It's our first tie of the season. That means Detroit Lions are still winless. Meanwhile, we've got Mike White in getting his third straight start as the rookie Zach Wilson is still
that's
sidelines.
right. Mike White, they want him to be the franchise here.
Okay.
Trade Zach Wilson. He was only the number 2 pick.
Let's do it. Against Josh Allen, of course, who's trying to get better after only scoring 6 points against Jacksonville last week.
Yeah, he was on fire today. A lot of big throws. Him and Stephon Diggs, the Jets were sick of seeing both of them by the end of this day.
You might be right. Right before the half, Bills up 10-3. Allen finding Diggs again. His 12-yard touchdown is good. The Bills take the 17-3 lead into the half.
Yep, and then there's this play. Mike White, interceptions. He was bad in the pocket today, careless with the football, but throws down the field. Buffalo gets back on track. Maria. Buffalo, of course, played bad last week, but the offense, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, looked really good today. And then, let's stop in New York, all right? Zach Wilson's the future, and it's official. Mike White is no longer the guy to look for as your starting quarterback.
Mike White, 4 interceptions on the day, so Chris might be right on this one, New York fans.
Chris SIMMS has spoken, apparently.
I like it.
I like it.
It's the Steeler tie. It's not a loss, but it feels like it from the Pittsburgh perspective, doesn't it?
And I understand. You lost your starting quarterback late in the week. He took all the practice time. But if you're going to be a playoff team, you've got to figure out a way to beat winless teams no matter what. Too many wasted opportunities today.
And this was their type of environment. Nasty weather, you're at home, but it's Steeler football. It's defense, it's run the football, and you find a way to win the game even without your starting quarterback. And it would have put them in the top of the division, but instead it's a missed opportunity.
Lions won't lose them all. We do know that, but I want to spin back to Pittsburgh and the news about T.J. Watt, their star defensive player, Mike Florio, hurt during the game.
Yeah, collided with a teammate in the third quarter. Hip injury, knee injury. The hope is that he will be okay, but MRIs on Monday morning for both injuries, the hip and the knee. So we'll be following that one as the day unfolds.
They play the Chargers next Sunday night. We welcome those of you who watch the Vikings win in L.A. as you get set to watch Max Crosby and the Raiders take on the Chiefs. We'll talk about the Raiders' defense as Football Night continues in a moment.
It's Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Sunday Night Football! Everybody watching!
Well, Las Vegas is a city that's forever ready to put on a show. Under the bright lights of the desert, Patrick Mahomes is in town for an AFC West collision that has heavy playoff implications. And Rodney, there has been a new defensive strategy taking place all year as they take away the big play from Andy Reid. So how do you think Vegas tries to defend Mahomes tonight?
Well, defense coordinator Gus Bradley, he's going to do what they do. They're going to play cover 3, single safety high. They don't blitz a lot. They depend on a lot of pressure from their front guys. Starts with Max Crosby. He's the guy that brings the energy, the passion, the enthusiasm. And I need some help with his boy's name.
Yannick Ngakoue.
That name. He's been terrific. He leads them in sacks. And watch his first step when you watch him tonight.
Unique is unique for sure. The Chiefs defense, they've been struggling all year. They just played their best game, though, against the Packers. You talked to Tyrann Mathieu this week, so what did he tell you about this team?
He said they're still searching for identity. He said, but they're getting healthier. Frank Clark, he's been in the lineup. They moved Chris Jones back to his natural position where he became an all-pro defensive tackle, and they added Melvin Ingram. They feel like this is a formidable front and that they can compete against anybody with this front four.
And Melvin Ingram, he made his name in this division with the Chargers, so both of these teams know what he's capable of. Mike, back over to you.
Hey, Rodney, nice job. The rules of Vegas, always have a sidekick who can bail you out. Well played, my man. Let's hit some highlights. Those of you who just watched Philly win in Denver, show you what happened to Washington in your division, taking on Tom Brady and the Bucs. Tony, playoff game, the wild card game that we had. But Tom Brady, a rough start in this one.
Yeah, he really was off, and he didn't get a lot of help early on from his receivers and backs. Leonard Fournette had a drop. Here was an interception.
William Jackson had one, Bobby McCain another one. So this is 5 Brady turnovers last 2 games.
And that was all on Tom Brady. That was just an off-target throw there.
Well, stay tuned for what Bruce Arians had to say about that. So Washington led all game by as many as 13. The lead is 10 in the 4th, and here's Mike Evans with a big play.
Not many deep balls all day. This was one that got him back in the game. Chance now if the defense can hold him.
There was a lot of time left. Taylor Heineke, who shined in the playoff game against Tampa last year, though they didn't win. Boy, on 3rd down in this drive, he was terrific.
He played with a lot of poise. No one open here. Scramble out, get the first down, keep the drive going.
All right, notice the clock. Tick, tick, tick. Long, long drive. 3rd and 4, Heineke again.
On-target throw to Adam Humphries. Keep the drive going.
Oh, the X-Buck, 3rd and 5 again. 3 plays later, Terry McLaurin. Big hit.
Great read against the blitz. Accurate throw. Again, just keeping the ball away from the Buccaneers offense.
And 4th and goal, put the riverboat in Riverboat Ron. He goes for it. The longest drive of the year. 19 plays, 10.5 minutes. Ends the day. As for the quarterback's play in Tampa,
the 2nd straight week that Brady's had multiple interceptions. Can you just speak to what was going on maybe with the receivers?
No, it had nothing to do with receivers. It was him.
Well, I think we'll hear about that during the week, don't you? All right, so that's the Brady part of this. I want to flip it over to the other side. What did you see as you were watching the Bucs today coming off their bye week?
It's certainly not the same Bucs defense as it was at this point last year, and definitely not what we saw in the playoffs. They're missing their top 3 corners, and that has a lot to do with it. But they're not getting the same pass rush. They're not generating the turnovers. And so it's just not creating as many opportunities for their offense, and it's keeping them on the field longer.
And mistakes, penalties at the wrong time, holding penalties, and maybe it's those inexperienced corners. But the last 2 weeks, you've played against Trevor Siemian, backup quarterback, gave up 36 points.
Right.
Played against Taylor Heineke today, gave up 29. This is not the Super Bowl caliber defense that we're used to seeing from them.
So Brady and the Bucs off the bye, they lose, they go to 6-3. Green Bay just beat Seattle. We welcome those of you who watched that. We're all getting set for Sunday Night Football, and the team represented the AFC in the Super Bowl the last couple of years, trying to get back on track. It's Travis Kelce. You know, he only has 1 touchdown catch his last 4 games. He catch a touchdown like every drive last year. See what he does against the Raiders on Sunday Night Football.
Celebrating the victory. Presented by Allstate.
Yeah, baby! It is picked up by the Raiders. What a great victory this is.
Shut the wall, boys!
They're going to play hard now, so let's go.
Take it personal, baby. Let's go. To the end zone, wide open. Touchdown.
Mahomes like no other.
Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. And by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com.
Oh, baby, it's the Raiders fans. No better fan base in all of sports than the Raiders. The Raiders. Yes, it's not Oakland anymore. It's Las Vegas. Last I heard, you kind of got a story to tell about your days at the Oakland.
Great memories about the old Oakland Raiders Stadium. Overtime win.
Wow.
LaDainian Tomlinson, 39 carries in this game back in 2002.
Great handoff by you, man.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
That was good. I worked on that. So we're celebrating there in the end zone, and the black hole, they don't like that.
Oh,
so
look at you.
You know, I think we started off with maybe popcorn and peanuts, and then it was beer.
Right.
And then it was batteries. Like, Tim Dwight, put your helmet on. You're going to take one off the shiner there.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to celebrate in that end zone. That was a rule.
That was the old black hole there. Legendary.
Yeah, definitely is legendary. Great fan base there. All right, let's get to the points bet polls. You see here, it's Patty Mahomes. He, of course, is phenomenal. If you look at the stats, the overs and unders, the pass TDs, you think things are normal. But Drew and I are here to tell you that they're not normal right now. They're not. Patrick Mahomes is off kilter, whether it's just reading the field the right way, his mechanics, leaving the pocket, and that's what we want to break down right here. We got a play from you from last week that just, I think, encompasses it all, Drew.
Yeah, listen, I love taking shots just like the next quarterback, right? Call 10 to 15 of them a game. But when it's not open, check it down. Find the open receiver. Keep the drive going. this has been the theme of their season. They've got double coverage down the field on these double posts, and you have the best tight end in football wide open, Travis Kelce, in the middle of the field. But instead, we're going to launch this long foul ball.
Into double coverage.
We're going to be there, now we're in 3rd and long, and we're off the field, and we're not scoring points. And that's really been a lot of the struggles for the Kansas City Chiefs so far this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Just take the guaranteed completion right there. But I think it's one thing we see week after week right now, and it's amazing because Mahomes is as good as we've seen.
Yeah.
But not seeing the field well, leaves the pocket too often, and not staying true to his reads has certainly hurt the Kansas City Chiefs offense. All right, now download the PointsBet app and get betting options you won't find anywhere else. Over to you, Michael Tirico.
All right, Christopher, thank you. Hey, guess who's back? Signed Thursday. Cam Newton, fashion alert, outstanding.
Yes.
Please notice Superman card on the side of the hat. PJ Walker started. Cam got it in the red zone. Tony, 6 years old playbook. Bring him out. Refresh it. He can still do it.
He is a dangerous weapon in the red zone because when your quarterback can run, it gives you another option down there.
Cam told us he was back. He got back in the red zone.
Very back.
He's back again. He's doing a victory lap. The one-loss Cards, the only one-loss team in the league, throttled without their quarterback, Kyler Murray. More on him in a minute. Back to Cam. Rush touchdown, pass touchdown. They came on his first 2 snaps 43 times in his career, extends the record. First game with the Panthers since week 2 of 2019. The MVP back in Charlotte. More on that in a little bit. Let's go to Dallas, where the Cowboys are taking on Atlanta. Dak and company blown out by Denver. What a bounce-back game for Dak, the offense, and CeeDee Lamb.
Yes, Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, did a great job. Put CeeDee Lamb in the slot all day and got him on mismatch coverage.
CeeDee did a lot of looking up at the big board. Jerry World smiling. A lot to see. 296 and 2 touchdown passes for Dak. Yeah, the Falcons know. They're down 28-3. Dan Quinn knows. He was the coach of that Super Bowl 51. Not today, not coming back. Dan Quinn going up against his old quarterback, Matt Ryan. That defense led by Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs got it done.
Yes, those 2 guys are making a ton of plays. And again, Trayvon, an off-target ball is his.
Little redemption. They played hard for the old Falcons head coach.
Now represented game ball to Dan Quinn.
That had to feel good for Dan Quinn.
Dallas defense didn't play great last week against Denver. You know those guys understood how big a game that was for Dan Quinn. They played great today.
And the league where you can't find consistency, Dallas blown out one week, comes back and blows somebody out the next week. Let's simplify the game. Powered by Microsoft Surface. Chris and Drew have more on Dallas.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Mike. I mean, Dallas got back on track. Last week, their defense couldn't get off the field, right? Last week, offense couldn't stay on the field, missed some key 4th down conversions against the Denver Broncos. Today, it was a whole different story in this Atlanta Falcons matchup where they played really well on both sides.
Yeah, they did. 4th down for the Falcons. They're able to get off the field, unlike last week. And these are game-changing plays because this is just like a turnover. You get off the field, you get a good field position, and now you have the momentum.
Right. Dak, no practice last week. Looked like a different guy this week. He was on the money with decisions, ball placement, as you see here, on a big 4th and 5 to CeeDee Lamb, got them jump-started. And then if you give Dak Prescott this much pass protection, I mean, he's amazing, of course, at finding people open down the field. Cowboys offense got back rolling today. Team in general got back rolling today. They looked really good, Mike.
All right, Chris, let's go to the other game we just showed in these highlights and bring Mike Florio back in. Arizona, only one-loss team in the league. Going up against a backup quarterback and a guy signed on Thursday, get blown out at home by 24, in part because Arizona's starting quarterback still isn't playing. Can you give us an update on Kyler Murray?
Yeah, Kyler Murray sprained that ankle 17 days ago, Mike. I'm told he's making good progress, and there's a chance he'll be able to play next weekend when the Cardinals go to Seattle, which is getting more and more desperate at 3-6. The question, though, is can he continue to make the progress? And one big factor is the Cardinals have their bye the week after that Seahawks game. So they're going to have to ask themselves, do we maybe give Kyler extra time to get to 100%, or do we try to get him back on the field next Sunday?
Perhaps also factoring in Colt McCoy left the game today with a chest injury. We'll check on that with Mike and Pro Football Talk during the week. Tyreek Hill, Kansas City's leading receiver. Chiefs 4-0 this year when he scores a touchdown. He'll try to do it in Vegas on Sunday Night Football.
Simplify the game, powered by Microsoft Surface, the official sideline technology provider of the NFL.
There he goes to the house. Look at that. It is
Football Night in America. Served by Applebee's.
The locals of America's Playground are ready for their rivals from Kansas City. It'll be the first packed house inside Allegiant Stadium for Sunday Night Football. Two of the best tight ends we will see on opposite sides of the field with Travis Kelce and Darren Waller. Rod, how do you even try to defend an athlete like Kelce?
Kelce's a great player. You're not going to completely shut him down. But what you have to do is you got to play physical with him. You got to make his life miserable. The Giants did a great job of that, of jamming him off the line of scrimmage, sometimes pushing him down, not allowing him to get in his routes easy. That's going to be a big determinant if he's going to have success tonight.
You're going easy on me this week. I appreciate that with the touchdown.
Yeah, you look a little skinny right now.
I do. I appreciate that. Sunday Night 7 every week, $100,000 on the table. How many receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, both of these tight ends, Waller and Kelce?
I think Waller will have more receiving yards without the presence of Henry Ruggs. I think as far as receiving touchdowns, I think they're going to tie.
You can make your picks along with us on the NBC Sports Predictor app. Maria, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, appreciate it, Jack. Let's get you back to the highlights. We got the Eagles taking on the Broncos. Jalen Hurts looking deep early to Devontae Smith. And guess what? It's his birthday, so he's coming down with touchdown.
Oh, this connection is flourishing the last few weeks. Looks really good. Devontae Smith has superstar traits. There's no doubt about that. Philadelphia running the football, taking shots to Devontae Smith down the field has made them dangerous on offense.
The rookie's first game with multiple touchdown catches. On the day he turns 23, we take it to the third quarter. Broncos down 7. How about this? The ball comes out of Melvin Gordon's hand, and then it's taken back for a TD.
Taken back for a TD. You'll see Darius Slay. He's running around here like the road runner. And I don't think the Denver Broncos even think the play is a real play. I think they thought it was maybe not a fumble. It was called down. But either way, easy touchdown for Slay.
You saying road runner lets me know how old you are.
Yeah, yes,
Big
I am.
play Slay. Yeah, Philadelphia gets the win, 30-13. All right, Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chargers. Third quarter, Herbert to Austin Eckler. The 2-yard touchdown gives the Chargers their first lead of the game, but it's all Vikings from here.
Next drive, Minnesota answers 4th and goal. Little pick play in the back of the end zone. Conklin gets the easy touchdown.
Okay, now just trying to ice the game. Fourth quarter, Vikings up 27-20. They going for it on 4th down. They get it.
Well, when you're going to ice the game and you're Minnesota, you go to Dalvin Cook. Great play call there. Gutsy play call by Mike Zimmer, and they win the game.
All right, Vikings hold on to snap a 2-game losing streak. You ready?
I'm ready.
Attack. Browns taking on the Patriots. Baker Mayfield, though, intercepted by Kyle Duggar. He returns at 37 yards.
Pats defense is really good, and once they got the Browns run game under control, Cleveland had a hard time doing anything on offense.
Did you say run game?
Yes, I did.
Ramondre Stevenson, why don't you take over?
Well, he's changed their offensive team, changed their team in general. Extremely talented. You can see he's big, he's got sweet feet, can catch the ball out of the backfield, and man, the Pats are rolling at this point.
No Damian Harris out with the concussion. Stevenson has a career day. Then the Mac attack starts.
Mac attack starts. It's always efficient, but they're starting to make more and more plays down the field. This capped off a 99-yard drive that was basically night-night for Cleveland.
Kendrick Bourne coming out of nowhere to make that grab. Patriots score.
Help them up. Come on, look at these guys. What a bunch of good guys they are on that Pats offense.
I do appreciate everyone's working hard, okay? You got to help the camera guy out, too. Okay, Brian Hoyer's in because the Patriots up 38-7. Jacoby Myers, an 11-yard touchdown, his first career touchdown. But let's hear what Myles Garrett had to say after the lopsided loss.
We got to go back to the drawing board and see how we can get better, see how we can scheme better, see how we can make adjustments on the fly. I mean, because we never had a chance just because we didn't make any adjustments on the sideline or when we had time to.
Okay, let's translate what Myles Garrett is saying. We didn't make any adjustments on the sideline.
Right.
I mean, what does that mean if you're a player saying
the Patriots offense cracked the code, and he's like, wait, they've cracked our code. We got to change something. That's my one issue with the Browns defense. They kind of do what they do, and they don't change a whole lot. And I don't know if that can necessarily get you where you want to go, at least the promised land, right?
Meanwhile, the Patriots, they seem to have made the adjustments that have been necessary to make the second half of the season look like it's theirs to control.
Well, they're really impressive. I think you look at it right now. I mean, we know the Titans are hot in the AFC. Other than the Titans, I'm going with the New England Patriots as being the most consistent, well-balanced football team. They run the ball, they pass the ball efficiently, and their defense is top-notch.
Yeah, and how about Mac Jones, the Mac attack?
Oh, the Mac attack.
The first Patriots rookie to have 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and they continue to roll on a 4-game winning streak, Mike.
I want to dig a little deeper on this game, guys, and talk about the Bill Belichick mantra. He's going to take away what you do best offensively. That's not just the Patriots defense. The Patriots offense was living by that today.
They absolutely do, and that's why Myles Garrett was so frustrated.
Right.
He's used to having a one-on-one matchup with the left tackle and just kind of being turned loose and getting 1 or 2 sacks.
Did he really think he was going to get that against this?
Absolutely not. They spent all day finding ways to slow him down and neutralize him. What's the first way to do it? Throw screens. We'll let you rush up the field, and we'll just drop the screen in behind you.
And then the next way to get after him, somebody who chases and runs with great speed, will go misdirection. Let you run and chase and then come back the other way. Patriots are famous for this, too.
And they love their trick plays. And they brought him out today. Again, let's have presence with the tight end. Let's chip you with the back. And we're going to turn the guard over to you. So we are not going to let the best player on that Cleveland Browns defense have any chance to make plays today.
So that's what he's saying in that press conference. When 3 guys are blocking me, what are we doing here?
Right. Somebody else has to make a play.
What is our adjustment?
Well, you see down here, Buffalo and New England, all of a sudden this is building in the AFC East. 1 6-3, 1 6-4. They meet in a few weeks. That's the first of 2 meetings between those teams in a 4-week stretch that will probably decide the AFC East. It'll be fun to watch. By the way, Kevin Stefanski said he's not as concerned about that Baker Mayfield injury. We'll follow that as the week goes along. The Raiders have Josh Jacobs in their backfield trying to keep him healthy. When he is running hard and healthy, this team is tough to beat. We'll see if they can do that to the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
Be a lady tonight.
Las Vegas, the glitz, the glamour, and tonight, the big game. It got me to thinking, what are the odds we'd be here?
Ready to run it back.
The Chiefs were the odds-on favorite to reach a 3rd straight Super Bowl, but no one would have predicted this.
And thrown 9 of them this year.
But in this town, we know anything is possible, and the Raiders are in the game.
Jackpot, baby!
But you know how it goes in Vegas. 1 week you're up, the next week you're down. The key is to never get too high, never get too low, especially when the stakes are at their highest. So will it be red or will it be black? It's Vegas. I know I'm all in. Jackpot, baby.
How about the pictures of Musburger? Jackpot, baby.
Love it.
Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmore sportscaster for the all-time best. We thank Brett Musburger, the voice of the Raiders on radio, for helping set the table for the Chiefs and the Raiders on Sunday Night Football. Let's take it on the field here and talk about the quarterbacks we will see, starting Drew with Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr knows how important this game is for his team. It's been such a tough season and certainly a tough few weeks, but he's really stepped up his leadership role, and they're going to need him to play great tonight as he's going up against a Chiefs team that's also motivated.
And on the other side, Mike, Patrick Mahomes, everybody's saying, has the league figured out Mahomes? All these deep safeties. No, they haven't figured him out. Patrick just has to get back to basic fundamentals, throw to the open guy, and be committed to it.
There those quarterbacks are on the field, presented by Hyundai. About 20 minutes from another Mount Rushmore announcer, Mr. Michaels, with Chris and Michelle for Sunday Night Football. Hey, look at these numbers, Tony. Pro Football Focus helping us out against 2 high safeties, 2 deep. Let's look at the Chiefs and tell me what this means to the folks watching at home tonight.
Well, that was my defense in Tampa, I guess Tampa too. It's hard to throw deep against it. What you have to do is throw intermediate passes and run the football. You only have 6 defenders up there. Block them, Drew.
And when you run the football and you take the completions, then you're going to move the ball down the field. You're going to score points, and you're going to force them to break that shell, to go single safety, and then your big play opportunities will come.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, but the short stuff has to happen first before they're going to respect.
You see, the Chiefs see more of it than any other team, and it's his defense. That's why I asked him first. We got a couple more highlights for you. Let me start with his old team, New Orleans, taking on Tennessee. This was a 6-6 before the half. They're on the doorstep, the Titans, and it's Ryan Tannehill, intercepted by Marcus Williams, but there is a penalty, and I open Mr. Dungy's microphone.
Oh, this is awful, Mike, and we'll look at it, and we'll see nothing happens. He doesn't get hit in the head. The defender doesn't take 2 steps. He doesn't put his full weight on him. How is that roughing the passer?
Sean Payton had the same question. We'll hear what Sean Payton said when he was questioned about about that momentarily. We're taking the start of the second half. Titans scored on that drive, right? So they're up 13-6. Deontay Harris, good kick return, bringing it back. Dylan Cole, big hit, ball out. Titans recover. They've got the ball, and they are in business. Tannehill's going to take advantage of the turnover with Mike Cole Pruitt.
And same formula they had with Derrick Henry. Fake the ball in there to Peterson. Easy touchdown pass.
So just like last week with Trevor Siemian in his second start for the injured Jameis Winston, down double digits second half. They got a touchdown, make it 23-15. Siemian to Marquez Callaway, got to have it drive, 22 yards, and a flag.
There, take him a little bit closer, give him one shot at the end zone.
So let's go Callaway one more time. Got it. Touchdown, 23-21. And remember, the Saints missed not one, but 2 extra points with their 4th different kicker from when they started the season in terms of their plans. And then, Tony, that mistake.
They have to go for 2. False start penalty moves it back to the 7. Now you've got a different mindset altogether on this play.
And Mark Ingram, who became the Saints' all-time leading rusher, didn't have the catch. So Sean Payton's team loses by 2.
What was the explanation on the roughing the passer play?
No explanation.
So
There wasn't an explanation. What do you want me to say?
I was just saying,
You want my opinion on it?
Yeah.
No opinion on it.
So I had the opinion. It was a bad call.
Tony won't get fined. Sean won't either. He dodged it. Russell Wilson's back. You've seen the videos. The finger injury. You've seen the videos of the rehab. You see the video of the return. Russ is back and cooking. Aaron Rodgers is back. He was cheered at Lambeau. They were so happy to see their QB back after missing last week with COVID. Field goal on this drive, Tony. How exciting.
Both quarterbacks a little bit off. Just more big plays by Green Bay than Seattle.
3-0 through 3. Wow. The 4th quarter. A.J. Dillon on the ground. Big here. Might be even bigger because Aaron Jones left this game with a knee injury.
Power run for a touchdown. Made it 10-0. You had a feeling the game was over at that point.
It feels like it's important football, right? Because it's snowing at Lambeau. They had a couple inches earlier in the day. It snowed during the game. And Seattle couldn't find anything.
That was a microcosm of Seattle's offense all day. Just nothing happening. Russell looked like he hadn't played in a while.
17-0, the shutout for Russell Wilson. More on that in a second. He only completed half of his passes, 2 picks. You see the Aaron Rodgers numbers in that game. Time now for the Sunday Night Game Flow presented by Progressive to talk about Rusty Russ, Maria and Chris.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't make it up, but Rusty Russell Wilson is something that we saw today, and unfortunately, it hindered his team's ability to win.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, we talked about this a little last week with Dak Prescott. You don't practice in the NFL as great as you are, even Russell Wilson, you're going to struggle. And he was off target. He didn't see the field all that well today. Here's a great look. I mean, it's DK Metcalf open, doesn't want to pull the trigger, can't get out of the pocket, takes the sack. Here he is in the pocket, nice pocket, just airmails the ball over Tyler Lockett's head. A few plays later, same thing. I mean, these are plays that we usually see Russell Wilson make in his sleep. And then here, again, this is not the easiest throw in the world. I'm not trying to say that. But he doesn't, guy can't even get his hand on it, and we're used to seeing Russell Wilson make those type of plays, Maria.
And that's the Sunday Night Game Flow presented by Progressive, and even Chris admits it's very difficult at the quarterback position to have an injured throwing finger.
Yes. very tough. And Rodgers wasn't real sharp either today, and that explains what we're talking about.
All right, back to you, Mike.
Some mitigating circumstances, but Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, and now Russell Wilson, last 3 games, shout out to the Green Bay defense. Those guys have averaged 200 yards passing each game and 4 picks with only 1 touchdown total in those 3 games. So Green Bay's 8-2. Arizona's 8-2. By the way, Green Bay's the #1 seed because the head-to-head win. And Tennessee is the other team at 8-2. Are we surprised by the Titans?
You know, I love Tennessee because we've seen teams have bad games, off games, lose to winless teams or 1-win teams. We haven't seen that from Tennessee. They lose their horse and Derrick Henry. They've got to reassess how they're going to do things, but they just keep slugging away, finding ways to win. You have to credit Mike Vrabel and that staff for that mentality.
Yeah, it's complimentary football all the way around. And the way I'd sum it up is they're not doing anything to beat themselves. And that's really what loses a lot of games in this league. Offensively, they haven't played that well the last 2 weeks, but their defense has gotten turnovers. They got a special teams turnover today, and they're not turning the ball over on offense, which is resulting in wins.
Chris Sims said it before. The Titans, along with the Patriots, may be playing the most consistent three-phase football right now. In 2 weeks, Mike Vrabel goes back to New England and brings the Titans up there. Maybe one of the more fascinating games coming up here over the next couple of weeks. Speaking of fascinating games, we've got the game for the lead in the AFC West coming up here on NBC tonight. Patrick Mahomes looking to get back to his best and lead Kansas City to a third straight win. Derek Carr and the Raiders, they would like to bounce back from last week's loss at the Giants. Winner at the end of the night leads the West. Raiders, Chiefs for you coming up on Sunday Night Football. Derek Carr, just win, baby, ready to roll for the Raiders. 8 minutes from Sunday Night Football.
I love it. Just
as
win,
the
baby.
Raiders or the Chiefs get set to head on the field. When they walk off the field at the end of the night, somebody will be in first place. The winner has the top of the AFC West. But first, the best of Week 10 brought to you by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL. Tony, a bounce-back week for Dallas.
Yes, Cowboys found a good thing. CeeDee Lamb in the slot. They didn't go away from it over and over and over again.
Dallas, Arrowhead bound. They're in Kansas City next week. Drew, the upset of the day in Washington.
Yeah, the Bucs came out hot last year after the bye week. They came out flat today. A lot of turnovers. Another loss.
Back-to-back losses for the Bucs. Washington snaps a 4-game slide. Philadelphia putting up some good performances. Devontae Smith now 4 touchdowns. The number 10 pick had 2 today.
Yes, Philadelphia had been running the ball well, but now when you get this, deep shots and explosive plays in the pass game, this really helps the Eagles.
Eagles winless at home, all their wins on the road. Drew, Cam Newton's back.
Yeah, he made this play famous in his first stint with the Panthers. His first touch of the game was that run there, and he let the fans know about it.
Wait. You're back. Are you back? Cam is back. Yeah, Carolina won by 24. Minnesota goes to LA and wins.
Yes, and I thought it would be the running game, but it was really Kirk Cousins and his receivers that won this game for Minnesota.
See the Chargers against Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football next week. Buffalo back to their winning ways.
Yeah, and this is what we're used to seeing from the Buffalo offense and what we would expect to see. Big plays to the wide receivers. Good day for Josh Allen.
No more sneaking up on anybody. Patriots, we know you guys are coming.
No, they're playing good football, offensively, defensively, and Mac Jones has been great.
They've won 4 in a row. They go to Atlanta on Thursday. Tennessee, top record in the AFC. Saints needed 2 to tie here.
Yeah, they had 2 good drives in the fourth quarter to bring it to that 2-point conversion, but just too many mistakes by the offense and special teams.
And 2 missed extra points. And in Green Bay, Aaron's back, Russ is back, Packers defense, you win the day.
Yes, and neither quarterback played like we're used to seeing them play, but this Packers defense, you're right, pitching a shutout.
And one takeaway here to watch as we go forward, as we bring you the best of Week 10, brought to you by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL. Aaron Jones injury going to be very important to follow for Green Bay. Left the game in the third quarter. A T.J. Watt injury we'll be keeping our eye on, for Pittsburgh. And Chase Young injured for Washington. 3 big stories coming out of this day. So headlines, as we look at the day and sit back and take it all in, I want to start that Buccaneers loss because that is the one that sticks out that you didn't see coming.
No, you really didn't. Everyone figured, boy, coming off a bye, this is when they got hot last year off their bye. They're going to Washington, and we did not see Buccaneer football today. Very sluggish on offense, mistakes. But I'm starting to get concerned about their defense, Drew.
Yeah, it's not the same defense that it was at this point last year. Certainly not what we saw in the playoffs. They're not getting much pass rush. Therefore, they're not generating many turnovers. They're missing their top 3 corners, and they just can't get off the field. And they're not providing the opportunities to their offense that they were at the end of last year.
We kind of had fun. Cam comes back. He looked like the Cam Newton we saw win the MVP back some 6 seasons ago. Can this last for Carolina with Cam as the quarterback?
Yeah, he certainly gave him some juice, but he brings an element to the offense. You know, when they get inside the 5-yard line, he put Cam Newton back there. That's tough for a defense because you can run QB power like you did on his first touch, or you run some sort of sell it, and then we're going to throw a sprint out or a quick pass. And so that's an element that I think can really help that offense.
And Tony, you know what's missing for folks? Carolina's got a really good defense, and Christian McCaffrey back in the up. He almost has many total yards from scrimmage as the Cardinals did as a team today.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing too. You add Cam and you bring Christian McCaffrey and the versatility he gives, and this is a good football team.
The Steelers, the tie against Detroit.
You know, it's tough with the COVID and everything. You lose your quarterback at the end of the week, but you have to find a way to beat a winless team.
All right, let's go to it. Time now for the home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. Jack, you and America get us started.
Mike, you're going to like this one. 50.1% of the country is on the Raiders. Can't make this up. Only in Vegas. Kansas City's back to winning, but it still looks like the hardest work of Mahomes' career. This just feels to me like a 3-day weekend in Las Vegas. All you got to do is win, baby.
You've been here all week. Of course you're going to say that.
Well, it's maybe a 4-day. Give me the Raiders. How about you, Rob?
I think Andy Reid's going to come out. He's going to try to establish the run, which is going to open up the passing game at Patrick Mahomes. I'm going with Kansas City.
Mike Florio, who do you like?
Hey, look, I look at it this way. Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, you let them hang around, and now they have their opening to take the division. It begins tonight. I like the Chiefs.
All right, Mike, I've learned that it doesn't matter who we think is going to win. It's who Tirico picks. But I'm going to go with Kansas City. What about you, Chris?
I'm going with the Raiders. The Raiders offense makes you defend the whole field, and I just can't get behind Mahomes and the Kansas City offense right now. Raiders win this one.
Mike?
Maria, I'll support you. Chiefs. What do you see tonight here, guys?
You know, everyone thinks that Kansas City is going to snap out of this. They're going to get back. We're going to see that 500-yard day. I haven't seen any signs of that. I'm going to take the Raiders, and I think they're going to do the same thing, make them slow down and move the ball methodically.
I think the Chiefs watched the show tonight, and they heard the points we made about their offense and where they need to improve. And Kelsey is going to break out. He's been bottled up for way too long. He's going to have a huge night. I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, it'll be fun to watch. And you pointed out the first drive the last couple of weeks. Kansas City's been very good.
They've been very good. Marching the ball down the field, run it, throw it, get completions, and then they go off the rails. So hopefully they can stay disciplined all game long.
So watch that for the first drive tonight. Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. And we are set for a huge game in Vegas. With the way things have been shaken out today in this division, the other two teams lost. So this one's for the lead. It's the Chiefs and the Raiders. It's Al, Chris, and Michelle. It's Carrie Underwood. It's Vegas. We're going to get our dinner, enjoy the game. You enjoy Sunday Night Football here on NBC.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.